Hello, Val. Good to see you. Oh, that was 3 weeks ago. Actually, I went about 5 rounds with Muhammad Ali. That's what it was. Katrina said 3 or 4 weeks. I wouldn't be here.
Oh, yeah.
So I talked to Patty. Patty's not feeling well. So I encouraged her to be sure and take the COVID test.
I was with her over the weekend.
Gordon, did you come Sunday to our party?
Hello, Rick. Rick. Oh, okay.
Rick.
Is Jason too?
Is he what?
Is he gonna be here Sunday?
No.
Can you tell him we're having a party?
Y'all hear from the cast.
We saw them.
2 weeks ago.
Yeah, they were in town.
He'll be back on. Hey.
Well, Bill, we tried to sit with you. Okay. Would you probably?
I'm already recording.
Richard came over to shake hands with us.
Okay, you're good.
I said, you know, he said, shoot him. I said, that's right.
Middle age.
Just gonna take you out the back door, just shoot you. Well, I thought about sending to that lepers colony in Hawaii.
You guys hear me? We are going to call this meeting to order. No bell today, so just think that there's a bell sound going on right about now. There we go. Thank you. We want to first begin by thanking Shane for taking the time this morning to make sure that preparation business in order as we've had it. So thank you for all the effort, Shane. May God pay you for Lindy. So with that said, we are going to have Dr. Bill Labar, who's here, lead us in the prayer. If everybody could please stand up and we'll get started.
I want to take a moment of personal privilege to thank Heather, the Irving Hospital Foundation luncheon last Friday was amazing.
Yes.
Well attended. Produced, although I have to share with you that when the one speaker looked at the other and says, I think we've gone on too long, is when Joan and I left. But other than that, it was good. And I also want to recognize Val Bozak.
Yes.
She and I went to a what do they call it meeting? Round table. And this club was recognized for our participation in the Rotary Foundation twice. Ooh, so Val was there to I have no idea.
62.
I haven't reached that part, but I am up to date on my modules. Anyway, we have a guest. It is nice to have you, sir. Hope you feel welcome. And if you want to participate, see me and I'll teach you how to build flags. And we're going to be disassembling flags. I'm going to start this next week. So with that, it's a great day. It's good to see everybody here. What a nice turnout. And thanks to Shane for hosting us. And let's go to God in prayer. Eternal God, we give you thanks for the blessings of this day, for our club, for its work in our community, and for the spirit which we share. We ask your spirit to be upon us, to bless our work, to bless this food, to take it to the nourishment of our bodies, and to keep us this day in your peace. In the name of the Christ. Amen.
Amen.
And with that said, we can't go without saying the Pledge of Allegiance. So we have Bob Lejean. Can you please lead us on the pledge?
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. We are going to have Ryan now help us introduce our guests. If you guys can have a seat. We have a couple of guests here today, so thank you for taking the time to be here.
All right. Thank you. Hello, everybody. So I'm excited to have a few guests here. We have our speaker and her assistant, which you guys will hear from here in a few minutes. We have Aaron Alsop who's here. Aaron. We have Coy Donald, a guest of Shane. Corey. Coy. Hey, Coy. Good to have you here. Lazaro is going to introduce Trong. We also have Donna Bourgeois here. Hi, Donna. We also have Carly, is it Dartez? Dartez, Carly Dartez from YMCA, guest of Rod. Good to have you here. All right, and Shane, I'll let you introduce Trong.
Thank you. Well, we have Ivan. I don't know if you introduced Ivan as well. Ivan is, he was here last week.
Okay.
Thank you for coming back. And we do have today for the first time Dr. John. He was referred to our club by Deborah Sarst, which many of you might know. He's an Irving resident, but I don't know much about him. So why don't we have him tell us a little bit just about him and why he's here? Yeah, who's the spot today?
Thank you, Sean. My name is John Fan, but you call me John. I moved here 4 years ago. I have three kids, went to University of Dallas, and that's the reason I moved here. So they all finished college, thank God. I spent 33.5 years with U.S. Air Force. I left Randolph Air Force Base as a chief engineer of the managed all the Air Force personnel data system. I now retire and work part-time as a adjunct faculties at Dallas College and UTD. And thank you for being here.
We need him in our flag program.
I know. Well, I think Dr. Lamar already has one there. So, and we thank you for being here as a first-time guest. Now we want to hear about somebody who's joined the club as well, and want to hear about her experience. And I would like to ask Farah Masid to join us here at the front, and just tell us just real quick, brief story about her joining the club and some of the things that she's been able to do with the Rotary organization since she's joined.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests and the president. I would like to start first with my favorite saint and Nobel laureate, Mother Teresa, her quote. No matter whatever you do, if you're too nice with people, they will think that you have an ultimate mode. If you are kind to others, they will take it other way. They will actually betray you. And if you love someone, they will also do something. But no matter what, at the end, it's only between you and God, you and the divine. So just keep on doing and do your good things. So my experience with the Rotary Club, I just have to tell, I just feel like it's my family. It's giving the opportunity to feel like home. I have my parents left in Bangladesh, and let me just give you a little bit introduction about me. I grew up here in Texas. I'm an electrical engineer and working with the government, and also on the other side, I'm also with United Nations Global Compact and UN Women, supporting human rights, environment rights, labor rights, and anti-corruption rights. So I just have to thank you, everyone, and I have to say again, the alone live who live for others. There is nothing kind and goodness to serve human and to serve God. Thank you so much. I'm so honored and so thankful to be part of you.
She has been very involved. She has truly taken the Rotary journey to heart. She has been a participant of numerous events, not just with Rotary as a club, but also as a district. So she's been able to see a different role other than her club. So thank you for attending that, and we look forward to seeing your more involvement in some of the activities that this club has. Talking about activities that this club has, We are gonna have Kathy Howard come and tell us a little bit about some of the highlights about the flag program, but also a party that we're hosting here this weekend. And she's gonna tell us about those details, and we hope to see you here.
Thank you. Yes, our flag program's been very successful thanks to you. It takes a lot of people to build these flags and organize them and get them ready for the Boy Scouts and the other teams to pick them up and so forth. And I happened to be in the barn on a certain day, and a lady came. She did the hospital district, and which means that she does east and west of MacArthur, of all the hospital homes. And that's probably 112 or something like that flags. Well, we had a situation where we did not have anybody to do Cardinal Village. And it was basically my fault, but I blame it on the computer. But anyway, it didn't do what I thought it was gonna do. Anyway, and anyway, we were desperate. It was Wednesday before Veterans Day, and she picked it up. So she had another 71 flags to deliver. And so she brought two ladies with her. So they had mini cars or whatever they're called, and one truck, and they divided them up so that they could do Hospital East, Hospital West, and Cardinal. That was a lifesaver, and that was on Wednesday. Well, Thursday it rained, so they were out Thursday putting them out because they were so late on Wednesday picking them up, and then they finished on Friday. But that was a miracle, you know, to find. Anyway, we want to celebrate and thank all of you who have been all this Bill Labar crew, building these flags, putting them in the barn, making supplies, you know, filling up orders and so forth. Thank you so much. And I'd like you to sign this paper and tell me that you're coming to our celebration this Sunday right here in this room. Thanks to Shane. And we're going to celebrate starting at 4 o'clock. It's so nice to see these kids. They're mini adults, is what they are. They've taken on good responsibility. And they come with their leaders, and they sit here and be patient and be nice. And Rick has them do the flag ceremony. It's very, very, very nice. And then we have pizza. So pizza's by Evatelli. Thank you very much. He gives us a real good deal. And we're gonna meet at 4 o'clock, and then we'll have a welcome and recognition of all the people at 4:30. And then we'll have pizza at 5. I hope you can come, because it will show them. One of the questions last year from one of the scouts was, what is Rotary? You know, they're working for us, but they don't know what we do. So Rick's got that in his program to explain and so forth. But it's a fun, it gives your heart a real good feeling to see all these people. And we're gonna have some surprises for them this year. It's gonna be a little different, but it's gonna be exciting. And I hope you can come. And I have 2 of these sheets, so let's fill them up. Thank you very much.
I'd like to speak for one of the many helping hands that are part of the flag program. So thank you for all you guys do. I think Rick might want to add a couple of other points about the flag program, Rick.
I'll be brief. Kathy's great job. Thank you. This past year, we had 1,492 flags.
The people online probably can't hear you.
Well, I'm not speaking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we had a great year. Thank you, Kathy. We had 1,492 flags. She has still been selling flags right up to Veterans Day. So she's a dynamo when it comes to selling the flag. But yeah, we had a great year. I was fortunate to be at the barn the other day when 2 of the big teams came in, and I hope they come to the party. But we talked about how to cull out the faded, torn ones that need to go away. So We've got a strategy on how we're gonna do that because we want the flags to look pretty, look good poles, so we've got a plan on that. But yes, Kathy, help me out here now. We want the volunteers that are gonna help us set up the tables and stuff at 3. You and I'll
Yes.
be here at 3
Yes.
on Sunday afternoon, and then our guests will start arriving. So we've got
Thank
the
you.
patch for the new scouts, and so they will earn the patch from Rotary that says the flag program. And we are excited, using the software to get ready to kick off for Bill's year. So we can have a super year next year when you take the reins in July 1st. And so a lot of work's gotta happen January through May to get us prepared to have another super flag year. Mr. President, thank you and congratulations to you on a great flag year.
Thank you. But many helping hands that do all the hard work. So with that, thank you guys for being here. I also want to recognize the people that are joining us online. I think we have Max, Randy, Maura, saw her eating lunch there. So thank you for always being online. And as a reminder, if you're not able to join us in person, you can log in to the Zoom link. For new members that are going to join us, weekly Maura sends a communication email with the information about the presenter, the program, so you guys have heads up on what's going on as well. So with that, we do have a special program today. We want to thank Christina and her assistant for being here today. Before I bring her here, I want to just say a couple of things about her. So Christina started whenever she was 1, working because Christina has excelled in her financial industry for over 43 years. So, one great start. Her career spanned a 10-year partnership with a national financial planning firm in Los Angeles, finally attaining the position of vice president and being transferred to Dallas. After 3 years, she left the corporation in 1990 and started her own business, creating and managing wealth. During the last 33 years, she has built an exceptional model for integrated financial planning, spanning all aspects of her clients' financial needs by supporting them in having futures they wouldn't have had they not met her. During this time, she took on other endeavors, one especially close to her heart, to expand the financial knowledge of women through her radio show, Miss Biz, which aired on KRLD for 3 years, encouraging women to get their big girl panties on and deal with the financial issues. She's then spent 6 years as the First Lady of Irving, utilizing her financial prowess to support a wide range of community charities, which I've seen her do. So with that, I would like to bring her here to tell us more. And also, thank you for all you do for the community, and we look forward to your presentation. Kind of see what's going on, and so that the people can see.
Did you just set that up?
Tony Jordan has the cover.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm just saying hi to everybody,
right on.
because I didn't get a chance to go around and see everybody. Can I just stick this in here?
Sure.
Yeah, because I'm a hand talker, you know? So Al Zaponta's here today, and he says, I came here because I want to hear about the economy. Okay, that's not my presentation, but I'll give you a quick overview up front, Al, okay? So I'm going to add this part in. It's got nothing to do with the mental, emotional, and physical impact of retirement, because the process behind that we're not talking about money, we're talking about the emotionality. And by the way, I just want to let everyone know, I have 4 of y'all's flags in my yard.
Yeah.
I'm right on the corner, so I got 2 on this side and 2 on this side. So thank you so much for doing that. It really makes a big difference in the community to have all those flags up, you know? I think we need to get the businesses somehow to contribute and do that all over the city, not just individuals. I don't know, do we have businesses involved in that?
Yes.
Yeah? Oh, good, good. Okay. So Al says the economy's in the tank. It really is not. what's going on right now is something that's gone on over and over and over and over again. It's kind of like Groundhog Day. You know that movie? You wake up and it's like all over again. So that's one of the beauties of the market, is that it's consistently rotating all the time. And the process that has just occurred has to do with all the money that the government threw at everyone during the pandemic. Okay, so big corporations, small companies, and individuals threw the $600 extra of unemployment that everyone got. So everyone kind of felt like, oh, I'm rich, I can spend a lot of money, and our economy falsely increased dramatically in 2021. That was a false uptick. I mean, it went up 114%. Okay, that's not normal. Now, obviously, everyone thinks, well, it's not normal now, but actually what's going on now is normal. Inflation is a normal process that occurs when the government tries to pull back spending. And that's exactly what they did. The market went up 114% inside of a year, okay? And that's not sustainable. So in order to level the market out, they started increasing interest rates to stop spending. And they've done that because everyone will tell you, the stores included, because that's why they're having Black Friday every Friday. I mean, what the heck? I mean, this is ridiculous, right? I mean, yeah, they want us to spend more money. I want you to buy what you need and treasure your expenses, and then also do the things that you want to do to have fun. But we don't want to go overboard, because then we have nothing to live on. And so many times people will tell me when they come on board, well, I can't afford to save that. I've got to live now. And I said, I totally understand that. And if you don't learn how to pay yourself first, highly, not $100 a month, but highly pay yourself first, what are you going to do when you're 70? And you know, these are 50 and 40-year-olds, and sometimes 60-year-olds will say that to me. And they're not thinking, because the average person, 51% of the population, only thinks 2 months out in their life. That's it. 1/2 of the population thinks out 5 years. In order to plan, you got to think 20 years into the future, even if you're 70 today. I'm 76, so I'm thinking of 120 right now. No, really, because what if I live that long? I've been in this business for 43 years. I've seen people say, well, I'm not going to live. And then when they're 75 and 80 years old, boy, I wish I would have saved more like you were trying to get me to save, because I certainly would like to have more freedom now. Freedom. Money is freedom. And I don't care how much you make, you can save money. Because money is not in your pocket, it's in your head. If you think you can, right? Back to kindergarten, right? The little train that can. Anyways, that's my talk about money for Al, although he doesn't need to know about savings. But I think it's really important that you know that everything is fine. And actually, I just met with a client right before I got here. His accounts have already done, and his wife's, his account has done 10% so far this year, and his wife is 9.6. Now, the thing is that they're very diversified, and that's the key in this market. I don't deal with individual stocks because you got to bet on a good one. And in today's world, any corporation can tell you they're cooking the books, i.e. Lehman Brothers in October of 2007, right? The world's most stalwart and solid financial company said, oops, we're bankrupt. Sent the whole planet into chaos, which was very interesting. So, and we recovered from that. The government will recover, the economy will recover always. And if it doesn't, then we'll all be getting books on raising corn and goats so that we can supply stuff for ourselves. So, really work to not pay attention to the television. Or I had one client say, well, I subscribe to this letter every month. And he says, and I said, and how much are you paying for that letter? He said, only $175 a year. I said, do you think that guy is really making a ton of money if he's selling newsletters? Come on. So always look at getting some professional help. Even if you think you know what you're doing, someone who does it every single day can give you a perspective sometimes. So, and there are little cards there if you do want me to chat with you. So you can hand those in to Adrian. By the way, Adrian is the one that developed this whole presentation. So let's give her a hand. Okay, so these are the 4 steps for retirement. You have to do all 4 of them. First of all, you got to decide that you're going to retire, but not tomorrow. I've had people come in my office and say, I'm done because something happened at work and that's it. That was the last nerve. I'm done. You can't retire because you didn't plan. But I have enough money. You have enough money, but what's your plan? I'll figure it out. No, because let me tell you, and I'll get into this. It's insidious what happens to people that are very, very active in their career, especially men, because men identify with what they do. That's who they are. And I've seen this happen in my whole career. And that's why I'm now focused on this. I'm writing a book about it. I'm also writing another book about the revolution of achievement, how to lead with outrageous vision. So that's just got started, so it's going to be a while. So you have to learn, you have to figure out how you're going to detach. You got to figure it out. First of all, how are you attached to what you do? You got to figure that out first. Then you got to figure out the detaching. Then you've got to go through the changing of it. And then you can thrive. Okay. So these are all the cycles in our lives. Look at all of them. Those are all cycles that we plan. We plan most of those until we get to retirement. I don't know where it happened, where the disconnect was. Like, I really don't need to. If I have enough money, I'm fine. Well, you are financially, but mental, emotionally, and physically, you're going to suffer. And I just had a client refer somebody to me, and she said, Christina, she just came on board herself, and she said, when you do your presentation, I'm going to do this again I do it online once a quarter on a Zoom for my clients and for my constant contact list. So it's usually on a Thursday or so, and I think this one's on the 12th, isn't it? 12th of January? Huh? Oh. Okay, well, anyways, if you want to be on our constant contact list where I send you a monthly perspective, that's all you get. You don't get bothered or anything, you know, but it's just to kind of give you a really quick 3 subjects, real small pictures and a few words. Okay, so those are the 3 aspects that we need to focus on. Okay. There it is. When planning on retirement, they don't plan. Retired is one day. It's a one-day event. When you retire, that's it, done. So if you're introducing yourself, I'm retired, what's that? How do we identify with that? So you want to, and by the way, if anybody has like another group or corporation, if you can give the whole day, I've got a workbook to go with this. And we work through, I'm just gonna zip through this one for you, but this is the whole day's presentation, but it's just really fast. Okay, so 365 Saturdays.
That's awesome.
And let me ask you this, from the monetary standpoint, what day of the week do you spend the most money? Saturday, okay? Because I also have people tell me, well, I won't need that much money when I retire. I won't need this much that I'm making now. Are you kidding me? You're gonna need more. Whatever you're earning now, you're gonna need more when you're retired, especially if you have grandkids. Jeez. I have to really pull my clients back with that spending. Okay, so this is everybody's idea of retirement. The little guy on the top with the bike. Oh, I'm retired. Everything is going to be fine because I don't have to work anymore. Actually, everything is going to be chaos. The same chaos you had while you were working. Whatever the 20 years, and I think there's a slide coming up. Nope, go back. Whatever occurred in the 20 years before you retired, the same type of stuff is going to occur when you retire. It's just different stuff. Well, everything's done. I just remodeled the house. Oh, okay, so you're never going to have another air conditioner in 20 years? How about the water heater? Foundation? Christina, I need 63, this woman's 73 years old. I need $63,000. For what, Gwen? I need a new kitchen. Okay, so my mother, bless her soul, only lived to 64 because she didn't take care of her health. She was Hungarian and everything had sour cream on it. Okay, so she died of a stroke. And that whole process of putting things into perspective instead of looking like this, especially at retirement. You can't hear me?
Well, they can't hear you.
Oh, they're saying that. I'm sorry.
That's okay. just need the
I'm
microphone.
thinking that my voice, I'm pretty loud anyways.
You're good right there.
Yeah, right there's fine.
Yeah, right there's perfect.
You just
Okay,
have to stand, yeah.
all right, great. I just have to stand
Yeah,
here.
you can't work the room.
That's like prison for me. Cause I'm like, anyways, that's why I don't want to hold the mic, okay? So anyways, all right, you can go to the next slide. All right, so what's it gonna look like? What's your retirement gonna look like? Not that fake thing with the straight line. What are you gonna do for 22 years? 22 years, that's average. Oh, I'm gonna die before that. Well, all right, it's a good goal, I guess. Die before 22 years. Never heard anybody say that before, but it's an option, okay? Go ahead. So all of the things that the road that you've been on in your life, you want to craft the next road for your future. What are you going to do? Go ahead. Rewired, not retired. Rewire yourself. What are you going to do? I had one client, she, a lot of my clients say, I really love working with your staff. They know all the answers to all the questions and I don't have to get a sermon. Because that's what I give them. So, oops, go back one. Yeah. So when you're rewired, you actually have decided now what you're going to be doing. My one client, Claire, she goes, I don't want to do anything. I've been 35 years working. All I want to do is be in my garden. I said, Claire, what can you do with flowers? Why don't you go work for a nursery? She did. 3 days a week. She was the checkout girl. She got everything half price because she was an employee. And of course, water finds its own level. The nursery started offering courses to employees to learn more about flowers, and she took every single one because that was her passion. What's your passion? You don't have to make money at it, but you need passion in your life. Structure, meaning, and fulfillment is critical for us to stay healthy, both physically and emotionally. Got to have that. So she now runs the nursery, okay? So, like I said, water finds their own level. Oh, you're just speeding me. Oh, so this is what he said that you would keep pace. I thought, what did he mean by that? This guy is going to keep pace for me. So you want to, what's your next chapter? What are you going to be doing? Okay, go ahead. It can be a lot of things. It doesn't have to be what makes money, but it will eventually probably end up making you money, because when you're passionate about something, you do it really well and other people want to participate. Okay, so detaching. Work friends will not be the same when you retire because they're still working. So there is a relationship, but it's going to change. And I know I myself have had clients that I've become very good friends with, and they retire and they have no time for me anymore because they're doing other things. I mean, we still do the monetary stuff, but I don't get to go out and have fun. Okay. So ask yourself, what am I going to do? How am I going to remain engaged in life? And again, it's an insidious thing. You don't even realize it. You don't realize what starts to happen. You start to lose relevance. And when we don't feel relevant, because we're wired to serve each other, we're wired for service. Every human being is. When you're not in service, there's no relevance. And when there's no relevance, there's no need to live. And don't fill your calendar up with stuff just to hide. Unless you plan. I have clients that have actually planned, and I think they're in here, so I'm going to wait. Changing. There's a tremendous amount of change when you retire. It's not just leaving the job. everything is totally different. You now have what you thought you've always wanted, nowhere to go and nothing to do. And that is a cocktail for depression. You no longer feel relevant. You can forward that. You get energy from completing things. That's where your energy comes from. Did you ever like sit in your pajamas all day long and think it was going to be a fun day, and by 6 o'clock in the evening, you're exhausted, right? Because there's nothing going on. And you're drained. Okay. Tell someone what you're going to be doing. Because it keeps you on, that's why financial planning with an advisor works. Because everybody's got great plans about what they're gonna do, you know? Like, oh, my car payment, I no longer have a car, good, let's save it. Well, no, just let me have 2 or 3 months with the extra money. No. Why? Because in 3 months, it's not going to be extra anymore. It's going to be a have to. So it gets sucked into the world called my lifestyle. And you've got to discipline yourself. And that's what a coach helps you to do. And this completion, I don't have a clicker, but where the success cycle breaks down, it's right in between energy and making the next choice. Because when you're in the world of completion, the natural process that comes into your body is energy. It's like gas in a tank. And what do they say? If you want something done, you give it to a busy person. Very good. Because it gets planned. They're a planner. Okay, they know how to get things done. And they also know how to manage the energy, because someone who doesn't know how to manage the energy, right at that break point there before it flows into the next choice, oh, I bit off more than I can chew. I can't keep this up. It's impossible. I'm gonna burn out. And they do, because they don't burn up the energy. That's why every successful, really successful person is healthy and up at 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the morning, and they're at the gym, or they do it at night. There's always something going on that they're burning up this energy, because if they don't, it burns them up. So you got to understand the physiology of success. That energy comes pouring into your body, and you got to do something with it, because if you don't, it implodes on you. Okay, there's what I said before. 51% of the population 2 to 3 months out. I don't know about you, but I've got stuff in 25 planned already. Mostly trips. But I have business out that far too. But you know, thinking far out is healthy, because you get to plan your life. All the things that you've been trying not to do, like, because you know your work kind of plans you, and that's something we try to avoid. If you don't get out of this house, I'm going to kill you. That's usually a wife to her husband who's just retired. So you have to, when you first got married, you talked a lot about roles and relationships and what you were going to do and how you were going to handle the chores and all that other stuff. But when you retire, nobody does that. And then you come together and it's like combative, arguing. So everything's got to be planned, especially your retirement. By the age of 70. Now, I'm still working and will work till I draw my last breath doing something, okay? Because I already have my next chapter planned out. But living alone is something that it's mostly women, okay? Because unfortunately, men are usually the ones that are very, very busy, and then they retire and they don't retire properly, and they're dead in the first 3 years, some of them. Okay, actually, it's 3 times more likely to pass away in the first 2 years of retirement if you don't plan. And it's because of the no relevance. And caregiving. How many people have parents and children and grandchildren? First thing, can't do anything about the parents, except if your parents are young enough, like 60, then you need to get them long-term care insurance. Because if they're 70, it's going to be $1,000 a month just to purchase it. So, and the average cost for 5 days of in-home care is $78,000 a year. And that's just somebody who comes in and takes care of you. You know, does your laundry and cooks a little bit. Okay. When you have this, yours, mine, and ours, and then you've got grandma and your mother and your children and the kids' children, the children of your children, and the people who are like 60, 65, they're boomers. So they're like responsible for everybody and everything. So there's all kinds of guilt feelings and resentment, and anybody who's been a caregiver, you know, it's very dramatic. It drains you. And then the person does finally pass away and you're left. Okay. So look at retirement as something that is an exciting option for you. Not, I'm going to not do anything or work. I don't have to answer to anybody. That's all pipe dreams. You have to answer to somebody all the time. It never changes. Okay, there's always someone that you got to answer to. Okay, so, you know, I had someone in my life one time that said, you know, I really hate it. You talk to everybody. I do. I can talk to anybody. You sit down. I like eating at the bar in the restaurant because there's a lot of people to talk to at the bar, right? They put you at a table and you're kind of like, but that's important. If you don't know how to strike up a conversation with somebody you don't know, you're doomed. Because all the people in your life that are your age are going to start dying. And then what do you say? I'm next. Or they'll call me up. So-and-so just died and she's 60. I want to retire now before I die. I go, you know, come on. You have no idea about her and all that other stuff. Look at it from a personal standpoint. What do you want to accomplish in your life? What is it that you want to do? How are you going to keep yourself relevant and happy? So, obviously, I'm done. Thank you very much for keeping your pace. No? Okay, great.
Well, we have one over here.
Yeah, I just want to say that I love the way you're addressing the psychological piece of retirement, which is so often overlooked. And I think your perspective is, there's some other companies who are kind of digging into that, like they're taking all that they understand about change and emotions and mental exhaustion that goes with changing, and they're applying it to retirement. So with my dad, who's 82, he's in that realm right now. I commend you for doing that. I think that's really proactive and a great angle on the financial side.
Thank you, thank you. It's called integrated financial planning.
Yeah, there you go.
So it's not money management is probably 20%.
That's great.
The rest of it is emotion
Yeah.
with clients, helping them not to make mistakes when a crisis occurs in their life.
Right.
And that's one of the things on my card. It says, would you like to have assistance in planning withdrawals? Because those one-time withdrawals, i.e. the 63,000 she wanted for her kitchen, I threw it into a program called eMoney. If you take 63,000 out now, it's going to take 7 years off the back end of your income. She goes, well, what do we do? I said, you refinance the house. You've been telling us that for 10 years. And I go, right. And now you got to do it, because I'm not letting you take money out of your asset. Now, obviously, I would have to if she insisted, but at least it's a different perspective. So thank you for bringing that up, because integrated financial planning is critical for everyone.
And I just want to say, on the cards that you have on your table, I, for some reason, and I met you a couple of times only, but even before that, I've been subscribed to the newsletter for 2-3 years, and I get it, and that's usually where I get my knowledge, because I don't have time to be doing what she does. So it's informative to see it every 3 months or so. So thank you for doing that. So if you haven't subscribed, I recommend you guys do that.
Okay, I recommend you don't and get a financial planner.
Let's give her a hand. Thank you for being here. You can join us again with the second part of the presentation, and be another guest again. But we definitely, it was very informative, and I think a lot of people here really benefited from hearing you, especially including myself as well. So thank you. With that said, I know we're a little past time. Do we have any last minute announcements?
Do I have everybody's name on the list?
Okay. See, Kathy, if you still have not signed up, next week we are not going to have a meeting. It's a Thanksgiving week. If you have it and if you want to come, I am wearing the Irving turkey trot, because we are doing the turkey trot at Tigger Music Factory at 9 a.m. We'll be done by 10, so you can go home and eat turkey. But you guys are invited. With that said, we're gonna adjourn the meeting. Can we stand up? And we're gonna have David Harris lead us on the 4-way test.
We got a real challenge. All right, we've got a real challenge today in the 4-way test, is we don't have it up there to read. All right. First,
Is it the truth?
second,
Is it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it build goodwill and better friendships?
fourth,
Will it be beneficial